Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. We're going to be going over last night's Champions League action as the biggest cup competition in club football returned last night with the group stages, throwing up some big fixtures, one or two shocks, and a lot of goals with some exciting action mixed in between. But before we go any further, I would like to remind us, please like the video and also subscribe for new. Both things are always and forever be greatly appreciated. And for now, let's get back into talking about last night's Champions League action, beginning with arguably the shock of the night when Young Boys, the Swiss side, Young Boys beat Manchester United. Okay then, we're going to be jumping straight into it. We're going to have to deal with this upset, this loss for Manchester United in their opening group stage game against Young Boys. The Red Devils lost 2-1 to the Swiss side last night, who was seen as being the weakest side in United's group. But like I say, the Young Boys of Switzerland managed to pull off a very big upset last night. United took the lead early in the first half through Cristiano Ronaldo, returning to the Champions League with United for the first time since obviously he left the club originally, and continuing with his great and impressive record in this cup competition. But things went from downhill from there. Things turned on their head for United. Things turned a little bit sour for them when Aaron Wan-Bissaka got sent off for his heavy challenge. And from there, it was very much attack versus defence, with the 11 men of Young Boys attacking the 10 men of United throughout the entirety, or the remainder of that game, should I say. And for their efforts, they were eventually rewarded with an equalising goal midway through the second half. United's resolute defensive work, though, seemed to suggest that they were heading to keep a point in that game and grind out a point, a draw in their opening group stage game. And the game did seem like it was heading in a draw when a horror of an error from substitute Jesse Lingard caused Young Boys to be in again on goal, and their striker made no exception in scoring and winning the game for the home side deep into injury time to claim all 3 points on the opening day of the group stages. Simply put, individual mistakes cost United dearly here. Aaron Wan-Bissaka got sent off for a stupid challenge when United were 1-0 up, and Lingard's poor pass to concede the winner was just extremely poor overall. You could look at individual mistakes on the pitch. You could also look at individual errors from manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, his tactical changes, whether it's the change in formation or the changes with his substitutions as to why United lost the game. You can look at both areas on the pitch. Yes, Solskjaer cannot take any responsibility for anything that happened on the pitch in regards to them individual mistakes, but I have to say that if this was Man City, if this was Liverpool, if this was Chelsea, and they go down to 10 men, do they lose the game from being in a 1-0 up position? I highly doubt it. It just seemed very strange to me that this would happen, especially against a side that was said to be the easiest side in this group to play against. Yes, this is a bad start to the group stages by Manchester United, but of course it's not the end of the world. This should have been the easiest 6 points overall to pick up in this group against both in the home fixture and of course the away fixture. That's obviously not going to happen now, but United are still expected to advance to the knockout stages in this group, and they are helped out. They are helped out because the other two teams that are in United's group also drew last night. So a bit of a let off the hook a little bit for United overall here, but they know that they should now not take any game for granted. They got away with it a little bit tonight, but they have to now go on into the second game of this group, and they have to bounce back immediately. But we'll wait and see if that happens. Also last night, Chelsea kicked off their defence of the Champions League with a victory over Zenit St. Petersburg in their opening group stage game. The Blues are 1-0 victors on the night thanks to a goal from Romelu Lukaku being the difference maker. It was a game of very few clear-cut chances until midway through the second half when the Belgian striker headed home from Cesar Azpilicueta's cross. It wasn't the most exciting game of football you'll ever see. Like I say, there wasn't many chances created throughout the entirety of the game. but Lukaku took his when it fell to him. Chelsea got the job done, and that's all they really needed to do on the opening game of the group stages and on the opening day of their title defence, so to speak. Like the Blues are one of the favourites to progress past the group stages before a ball was even kicked, and this was obviously the perfect way to go about doing that and starting their groups off in their own fashion. Chelsea certainly have the team to go on and retain the Champions League. You look at their team, right from the goalkeeper to the attack, their original starting 11, their strength and depth, everything about this Chelsea side. Defensively strong, midfield strong, and now they've added a stone cold killer up front in which they will take these chances that they create so often. They certainly have all the tools to go on and retain their Champions League crown, their title of being Kings of Europe. They certainly have a very good chance of retaining that title. Will they do it though is another question, especially when it comes to later on in the season when they'll be competing on multiple fronts. You'd imagine it'll be interesting to see if they can stay clear of injuries, keep focused, and obviously get the job done when it matters most. They've got step one done here, but there's many more steps to go in obviously the race to obviously go on and retain their Champions League title. But a great start here, 1-0 victory, 3 points, clean sheet. What more could you have asked for on the opening day of the group stages for Thomas Tuchel's side? Elsewhere last night, Juventus came out as 3-0 winners against Malmo, the other two teams in Chelsea's group, may I add. You'd expect that Juventus, along with Chelsea, will advance to the knockout stages there. Sevilla drew 1-1 with Salzburg. Dynamo Kiev versus Benfica and Lille versus Wolfsburg both ended in goalless draws, whilst Villarreal drew 2-2 with Atalanta, the other two teams in Manchester United's group that I previously touched upon. And in what was arguably the biggest game of the night, Bayern Munich beat Barcelona comfortably 3-0. And as I predicted yesterday that would happen, I also predicted that Robert Lewandowski would be back among the goals in the Champions League yet again. And that is exactly what happened. Thomas Muller opened the scoring for the German club before Lewandowski bagged a brace on the night, as it was a very, very comfortable night, plain sailing for Julian Nagelsmann's side. Tonight's Champions League action will see Liverpool back in action again in club football's biggest cup competition as they take on AC Milan. This fixture, of course, has a ton of history behind it. We all remember the infamous 2005 Champions League final in which these two teams met. Liverpool were 3-0 down at half-time, but went on to recover, take the game into extra time at 3-3, and of course go on to win the Champions League, their 5th Champions League title then on penalties. And of course we remember a couple of years later when AC Milan exacted their revenge on the Reds by winning in the 2007 final. These old foes are set to clash again in club football's biggest cup competition, in which of course I back Liverpool 100% to win tonight. Back at Anfield on a European night in front of their own fans again. Of course, the Reds are my pick to go on and win tonight. Also tonight, Manchester City face RB Leipzig. City are in a bit of a tougher group than we're used to seeing from them in the Champions League group stages, but they still should come out of it and advance to the knockout stages regardless, and will probably come out with all 3 points tonight, kicking off their Champions League campaign in the best possible way. Elsewhere, Inter Milan take on Real Madrid. I'm backing Madrid in that game. Besiktas host Borussia Dortmund, with Erling Haaland back in the Champions League, back in action for Dortmund. It's hard to back against the German club there. Champions League debutants Sheriff, they clash with Shakhtar Donetsk. The Ukrainian side should be winning that game there. Atletico Madrid, they face Porto. Diego Simeone should be picking up the points in that game. Club Brugge faced Kylian Mbappe, Neymar, and of course Lionel Messi. Easily a win there for PSG. They should have no problem in putting Club Brugge to the sword in that game. A comfortable night ahead for the French side, it looks like. And finally, Sporting Lisbon host Ajax. Could be a draw in that game, but I'm going to give the edge to the Dutch side there. I'm going to say that Ajax come out with the 3 points in that game. But as I always say, these are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, whatever I'm going to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of last night's Champions League action? What do you make of the shock that Manchester United received at the hands of Swiss side Young Boys? What do you make of Chelsea's winning start to their title defence in this competition? What do you make of any of the other games that took place last night? Mainly like the Bayern Munich versus Barcelona game, in which the German club absolutely smashed the Spanish club yet again. And what do you make of tonight's Champions League action? What do you make of Liverpool being in action against AC Milan? Manchester City being in action against RB Leipzig, or any of the other games that are taking place across Europe tonight? I'd love to know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, whatever you want to call it, down below in the comment section, because I'm sure they'll all make for interesting reading. Otherwise, hit the like button on the right if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new and want to see more content like this. Both things are always and fun would be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch, this has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see and speak to you all again soon in another video.